Let's not pretend the timing here is a coincidence. Google could have launched Android XR a year ago or 2 years from now, but they chose this exact moment. Why? Because for the first time in their long and bumpy road with extended reality, they finally have what they lacked before, a truly competent AI engine. Gemini isn't just another assistant. It's the missing puzzle piece. It's the brain that gives XR its soul. And with that, Google isn't just launching a product. They're unveiling a quiet revolution. One that starts with a familiar interface, but ends with a complete redefinition of how we interact with reality itself. When Sundar Pichai speaks about moving beyond the rectangular confines of a screen, it's more than poetic marketing fluff. That statement hides a profound admission. The age of screen-based interfaces is nearing its end. They've reached their limit. The next leap isn't about more pixels. It's about erasing the screen altogether. XR, extended reality, isn't just another gadget category. It's the beginning of a shift from computing as a tool we use to computing as an environment we inhabit. And that shift doesn't just happen because someone builds a headset. It happens because someone figures out how to make the technology feel natural, invisible, inevitable. That someone, in Google's view, is Gemini. It's not just integrated into Android XR, it is Android XR. Think about that. We're not just looking at a new operating system. We're looking at a new sensory layer for daily life. One that doesn't ask for your attention, it anticipates it. One that doesn't wait for commands, it senses context. Gemini doesn't just hear you. It watches, it interprets, and it responds before you even finish thinking your sentence. That's more than helpful. It's ambient. It's persistent. It's omnipresent. And depending on your level of trust in Google, maybe even unsettling. The headsets are just the opening act. They're episodic tools, worn with intent, when you game, work, or explore. But the real play here is glasses. Glasses are worn all day. They're with you in the supermarket, at a meeting, on a walk. They don't pull you out of the world, they add to it. Google's bet is simple, that people will choose to live with AI when it becomes invisible enough to feel like part of reality. These XR glasses won't just display data. They'll interpret your world for you. They'll whisper insights, recommend decisions, guide your actions. It's not about staring at screens anymore. It's about layering intelligence onto the fabric of your daily life. And when you step back, it's clear how long Google's been laying the groundwork for this. Remember Google Glass? Everyone does, mostly because it failed. But Google isn't pretending it didn't happen. In fact, they've built on it relentlessly. AR Core, geospatial APIs, Lens, Translate, Live View. They're all foundational pieces. For years, Google has been quietly training us to accept digital layers over our physical world. Now, they've added the final piece, an AI that can make sense of it all. Imagine walking through Florence with your XR glasses. You glance at the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. Instantly, Gemini overlays a 3D reconstruction of its dome, explains Filippo Brunelleschi's groundbreaking architecture, and shows you immersive VR videos from the same location. Then it suggests a nearby restaurant based on your preferences, makes the reservation, and gives you directions, all without you lifting a finger. This isn't the future. This is the demo, and it's only the beginning. Gemini's contextual understanding is where this becomes truly different. Let's say you're watching a baseball game. You don't ask for stats or highlights. Gemini already knows the player just hit a grand slam and overlays real-time analysis, career stats, and historical comparisons before you even realize you're curious. This is predictive computing, and it's where XR gets transformative. It doesn't just give you answers. It changes your questions. Of course, this vision isn't without risk. A platform that watches, listens, and reacts constantly raises massive privacy questions. Gemini isn't a passive tool. It's a participant in your life. That demands a level of trust few companies have earned. Google is betting that if the experience is magical enough, people won't ask too many questions. That's a dangerous assumption. But if they pull it off, if Gemini's intelligence is wrapped in a seamless, intuitive interface, Android XR could become the new normal, not because people demanded it, but because it just worked. Developers are already being invited into this new world. Google is launching a developer preview of the Android XR SDK, giving creators access to build apps for headsets and glasses. Unity support, Android Studio extensions, Jetpack libraries. All the familiar tools are there. What's more, existing Android apps will work out of the box. The idea isn't to start over. It's to expand the ecosystem horizontally, to take everything that's already successful and make it spatial. YouTube is being reimagined for XR, not just upscaled for a headset, but rebuilt entirely. Spatial audio, immersive environments, even the ability to relive old 2D videos in 3D. The concept of spatializing memory is quietly one of the most powerful ideas here, because it goes beyond entertainment. It touches on nostalgia, trauma, even therapy. If Gemini can reconstruct your past in immersive form, we're not just talking about tech anymore. We're talking about the psychology of perception. And that's the most radical part of this rollout. Google isn't just changing how we use computers. They're subtly changing how we experience reality. Headsets are the training wheels. Glasses are the destination. And the real product isn't the hardware. It's your perception. It's the invisible interface that listens, sees, understands, and reacts. Google is creating a world where the distinction between using a computer and being in the world starts to blur. From Google's perspective, XR is not a feature. It's an environment. It's not something you open. It's something you live in. They're designing it so that one day, you won't remember when you started using XR because it will have simply become part of your life. This vision is bold, sweeping, and incredibly ambitious. But it's also a bet. A bet that once XR feels intuitive enough, immersive enough, helpful enough, you won't want to go back. And it all hinges on timing. Google waited until they had Gemini, because they knew XR without intelligence is just another screen strapped to your face. But with Gemini, with real-time contextual AI embedded in the core of the experience, XR stops being a novelty. It becomes a necessity. So the next time someone asks why Google launched Android XR now, remember this. It wasn't about market conditions or product readiness. It was about convergence. The moment when AI got smart enough, hardware got light enough, and users got comfortable enough with ambient tech. That moment is now. And Google is ready. The question is, are we?